The storm rolled in fast, swallowing the last light of day and turning the sky the color of old bruises. Cole had just finished mending the north fence when he saw her, a lone figure stumbling down the muddy road, her dress soaked, hair plastered to her face, clutching something tight beneath her shawl. He'd seen travelers before, but something about the way she moved, half running, half falling, made him drop his tools and hurry to the gate. She nearly collapsed when she reached him, breath coming in ragged, panicked gasps. "Please," she managed, voice trembling. "I need shelter, just for tonight." Cole nodded, already reaching to steady her. "Come on. Let's get you inside before the sky opens up." He led her to the porch as the first fat drops splattered the boards. Inside, the woman hovered near the fire, shivering, eyes darting to every shadow. Cole fetched a blanket, draped it over her shoulders, then poured a cup of coffee and set it on the table between them. "Name's Cole," he said gently. "You're safe here. No one's going to bother you." She nodded, but her hands shook so badly she nearly spilled the cup. "Thank you," she whispered, voice barely audible over the thunder. For a long while, neither spoke. The storm battered the windows, wind howling like a wounded animal. Cole busied himself with chores, giving her space, but he couldn't help glancing over, wondering what had driven her out into the night. Finally, she spoke, voice so soft he almost missed it. "My name's Clara." She hesitated, then looked up, her eyes red-rimmed and haunted. "I'm sorry to trouble you. I just had nowhere else to go." Cole shook his head. "No trouble at all. Folks help each other out here. That's how we survive." She pulled the blanket tighter, as if bracing herself against more than the cold. The hours dragged on. Cole made a simple supper, beans and bread, and set a plate in front of her. She picked at it, barely eating, her gaze fixed on the fire. When the wind had softened to a steady patter, she spoke again. "You ever keep a secret, Cole?" He considered. "I reckon everyone's got one or two, some heavier than others." "What if keeping it meant someone else might get hurt?" she asked, her voice trembling. Cole leaned forward. "You can tell me, Clara. Whatever it is, I'll listen." She hesitated, glancing toward the door. "Don't tell anyone," she whispered. "Promise me." "You have my word." She took a shaky breath. "There's a man in town, Mr. Harlan. Folks think he's a good man, a church man, but he's not. He's done things. Terrible things. To me, and to others." Her voice broke. "I tried to tell the sheriff once, but Harlan's got friends everywhere. They called me a liar. Said I was just a girl looking for trouble." Cole felt a cold anger settle in his chest. He'd heard stories of men like Harlan, men who hid behind money and reputation, who hurt others and walked away clean. "You did the right thing, Clara," he said quietly. "Telling the truth takes guts." She shook her head, tears streaking her face. "No one believed me. And now he knows I tried to speak. He said if I told anyone again, he'd make sure I disappeared for good." Cole reached across the table, laying a steady hand over hers. "You're safe here. I won't let anything happen to you." But inside, the weight of her words pressed on him heavier than any burden he'd ever carried. The storm eased, but the tension inside the small ranch house grew thicker. Cole sat awake long after Clara had fallen asleep on the sofa, her breathing shallow and restless. He stared into the dying fire, replaying her words in his mind. The name Harlan echoed, bringing back memories of the man's smug smile at Sunday gatherings, his hand in every town decision. Cole had never liked him, but he'd never imagined this kind of darkness. He checked the locks twice before finally settling into his chair, rifle propped nearby. Outside, the rain slowed to a whisper, and the prairie seemed to hold its breath. Dawn crept in slow and gray. Cole brewed coffee and set a cup beside Clara. She woke with a start, eyes wide and wary. For a moment, She looked as if she might bolt, but then she saw Cole's gentle expression and eased a little. "Did you sleep?" he asked softly. "Not much," she admitted. "I keep thinking he'll find me." Cole nodded. "You're safe here. I promise." "I don't know what to do," she said, voice small. "If I go back, he'll ruin me. If I run, he'll find me. He always does." "You don't have to decide right now," Cole said. "Stay as long as you need. We'll figure something out." The day passed in uneasy quiet. Cole worked through his chores, always keeping an eye on the road, half expecting to see riders coming. Clara helped where she could, feeding the chickens, sweeping the porch, but her mind was far away. Every time a shadow moved, she flinched. By afternoon, Cole knew he couldn't keep her secret to himself. Not if it meant letting a man like Harlan keep hurting people. But he also knew the risk. Harlan's reach was long, and the town was quick to turn on anyone who crossed him. He needed proof. That evening, as the sun dipped low, Clara sat on the porch, knees drawn to her chest. Cole joined her. "You ever think about leaving?" she asked suddenly. "Just riding out and never looking back?" Cole smiled faintly. "I did once. But this land, it's in my blood. And sometimes running just means letting the bad men win." Clara nodded, eyes on the horizon. "I wish I was brave like you." "You're braver than you think," Cole said. "Telling the truth when no one believes you, that takes real courage." She looked at him, hope flickering. "Do you really think anyone would listen? If we tried again?" He squeezed her hand. "If we do it together, maybe they will." A sudden noise broke the moment. Hooves pounding up the road, fast and hard. Cole stood, heart hammering, and reached for his rifle. Clara shrank back, fear etched deep in her face. The rider pulled up, dust swirling. Cole recognized the sheriff's badge glinting in the fading light. Sheriff Dorsey swung down, face grim. "Evening, Cole. Heard you had a visitor last night. Mind if I come in?" Cole nodded, stepping aside. Clara's eyes widened, but she stayed silent, clutching the blanket tight. The sheriff's gaze lingered on her, then shifted to Cole. "We need to talk about Harlan," he said. The words hung heavy in the air. Inside, Dorsey removed his hat and set it on the table, eyes never leaving Clara. "Word travels fast in a small town. Harlan's been asking questions, looking for you." Clara's knuckles whitened around the blanket. Cole moved between her and the lawman, protective. "She's under my roof, Dorsey. No one's laying a hand on her." The sheriff nodded. "I'm not here to take her, Cole. I'm here because I believe her." Clara's breath caught. "You believe me?" Dorsey nodded. "I've seen too much to ignore a woman's fear. And you're not the first to come to me about Harlan. But every time, the story gets buried, folks get scared, or paid off, or disappear." Cole's jaw tightened. "So what do we do?" "We need proof," Dorsey said. "Something that can't be denied. Harlan's careful, but men like him always slip up. If you're willing, Clara, I'll help, but it won't be easy. He's got friends in high places." Clara looked to Cole, searching his face. He nodded. "I'll stand with you. Whatever it takes." She drew a shaky breath and nodded. "I'm tired of running." The plan took shape slowly. Clara would write down everything, names, dates, places. The sheriff would gather evidence quietly. Cole would keep watch, never letting her out of his sight. Days passed in a tense blur. Every knock at the door made their hearts jump. But bit by bit, a case began to form. One evening, Clara found Cole in the barn mending a broken gate. She stood in the doorway, framed by the fading light. "Thank you," she said softly. "For believing me. For not turning me away. Cole set down his hammer. You don't have to thank me. No one should face something like this alone. She stepped closer, voice trembling. I thought telling anyone would only make it worse. But you listened. Sometimes all a person needs, Cole said, is someone willing to stand beside them when the world turns its back. Before she could answer, a commotion erupted outside, hooves again, voices raised. Cole and Clara rushed to the porch. In the dim light, Harlan rode up with two men. He dismounted, swaggering toward the house, eyes cold. Evening, Cole, he drawled. I hear you've been harboring a runaway. Dangerous game you're playing. Cole stepped forward, blocking the door. She's not running. She's standing up. And you're not welcome here. Harlan sneered. You think anyone will believe her over me? I own half this town. Not anymore, came a voice behind him. The sheriff stepped out of the shadows, badge glinting. We've got your threats, Harlan, and witnesses. It's over. For the first time, Harlan's confidence cracked. He looked from the sheriff to Cole, then to Clara, who stood tall, fear replaced by fierce resolve. You can't do this, Harlan spat. Dorsey's voice was calm, final. You're done, Harlan. The truth always comes out. As the lawmen led him away, Clara sagged against the porch rail, tears streaking her cheeks, tears not of fear, but of relief. Cole placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. It's over, he said softly. You're free. She looked up at him, hope shining in her eyes. Thank you, Cole. For listening. For believing. For standing with me when no one else would. And as the stars blinked awake over the quiet prairie, Cole knew that sometimes the bravest thing a person could do was simply to listen, and to stand beside someone when the world tried to silence their truth.